Anti-evangelical homewrecker Mika Brzezinski is having a complete meltdown over we Christians winning the vote for Trump in Iowa. You're welcome, atheists. You can thank me now. It's okay. We'll let you live in our country. We'll be very kind to you.
Polling shows former President Trump making larger inroads with two key groups when compared to 2016. Evangelicals.
Evangelicals, welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. I'm an evangelical. This is where the happy patriots are. And yes, we are here to save the country. These polls are going to end up revealing a lot of things about the voters. It really doesn't tell me much about Trump. And this is a big misnomer where the anti-Christians like Mika Brzezinski and everyone over at MSNBC don't understand about Christians is we're not stupid. We don't think Trump suddenly became more godly. That's not what happened. There's a car wreck called Joe Biden that happened that's waking all kinds of people up.
Steve, what are the latest polls showing us about Trump's gain with these two groups? I have no words for evangelical voters at this point.
Mika Brzezinski, she's trying to shame and blame, and it's because she hates evangelicals' guts. I want you to notice another thing. In this poll that they're going to mention, first-time voters, that's like youth or first-time people, are breaking toward Trump in even greater numbers than evangelicals. But that's not who she has a problem with and who she's freaking out over. It's always over the evangelicals. Number one, anti-Christians, they always hate Christians. And that's Mika Brzezinski. They hate Christians even more than young people who vote for Trump.
And it is a dramatic, pick your adjective, dramatic turnaround, I'll say, since 2016 in terms of where Trump stands with the evangelicals. We've seen this national.
So there's a simple comparison of what happened to conservatives. You know, they say that a Republican is just a Democrat who got mugged. An evangelical voter for Trump is just a moderate who got attacked by a satanic anti-Christian President Biden.
And I think it's the biggest story in Iowa. Just as a refresher, 8 years ago, Iowa caucuses, first time in the 2016, first contest of the 2016 process. Remember, Trump lost Iowa. He came in second to Ted Cruz.
This is back when evangelicals were voting for the candidate they thought was the most righteous. Look, Ted Cruz, so righteous. Trump, not so righteous. We all know Trump's not as righteous as Ted Cruz. Evangelicals have learned that maybe when your child is dying of cancer, you want the best doctor with the best cure, not the best Christian doctor that aligns with your values who may not have a cure to cancer. When your country is really on the line, you want the best president and not necessarily the most righteous president, because righteous presidents like Jimmy Carter, Jimmy Carter's a righteous man. He's just terrible.
The overriding reason that Donald Trump lost Iowa in 2016 is right here. This is the exit poll from the caucuses. This is the evangelical vote. About 64% of the Iowa Republican electorate in 2016 was evangelical. And look, Ted Cruz won it. He won it by double digits, 34-22 over Donald Trump.
Back in the day, Ted Cruz was the evangelical candidate. Trump has not changed that much since 2016. I think you're still looking at a pretty similar guy. He might be wiser, might be older, whatever, might have learned to be a little better at politics, but it's not like he's suddenly Billy Graham.
This is about a month old, but this is what we've been seeing all year. Among evangelicals, look at the turnaround. Trump, who was losing by 12 to Ted Cruz, now with an outright majority, 51% of the evangelical vote, basically 2-1 over his nearest foe, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, barely in double digits.
Now, this is where people like Mika Brzezinski and MSNBC get it wrong. They think that because Trump is beating Ron DeSantis 63% to 12%, that Trump is what, 6 times more righteous of a Christian? That does not explain why evangelicals are voting for him. It's your house is on fire, and it's time to get that fireman over to put the flame out on the roof. And Ron DeSantis is too short, and he doesn't have a hose, and has no hook up to water.
When you look now in our poll at first-time caucus goers, Trump with a 51-point advantage over his nearest foe here, Ron DeSantis. So he's had those two groups not just change in terms of one going for him that wasn't before. They have both exploded in terms of him now just winning outright majorities, massive landslides with both groups. It's why he's been so consistently ahead in Iowa.
And once again, that's first-time caucus goers have the largest cut toward Trump. Why is that? Probably because first-timers are not zombified and hypnotized by Democrats. They don't have skin in the game. A hardened Democrat will never change his mind, even if his southern border is wide open, even if the economy is destroyed, even if your culture is brought into a civil war against each other by the president and who's hoping for a race war. The first time voters come in, clean slate, they can judge things more clearly and just go, you know what? Trump's our guy. Come on in and join our community. But it's okay. We're going to keep putting on shows for you regardless. For the best in news as entertainment, I'm Doug in Exile.